in what is perhaps the most on-brand thing for MAGA that I've seen in months. We've all seen these videos over the last few days where MAGA political commentator and shit poster and shit disturber Milo Yiannopoulos says that he's coming out of retirement. And the MAGA chuds on TikTok got their talking point and they all started posting videos saying, if you thought Charlie Kirk was bad, wait until you hear Milo. And they're all very, very excited at the thought of Milo Yiannopoulos returning to public life and political commentary on behalf of Donald Trump and MAGA and Charlie Kirk. And what makes their excitement about this so on brand is the following. Reading from combined reporting from the BBC and the New York Times from February 2017. Ultra-conservative writer Milo Yiannopoulos will no longer speak at a U.S. conservative conference, CPAC, and his book deal has been canceled after videos surface in which he appears to condone pedophilia. The footage showed him discussing the merits of gay relationships between adults and boys as young as 13 years old. The polemical Breitbart editor and unapologetic defender of the alt-right tested the limits of how far his provocations could go after the publication of a video in which he condones sexual relations with boys as young as 13 and laughs off the seriousness of pedophilia by Roman Catholic priests. But in the taped interview, the fast-talking polemicist is clear that he has no problem with older men abusing children as young as 13 years old, which he then conflates with relationships between older and younger gay men who are of consenting age. Quote, no, you're misunderstanding what pedophilia means, Mr. Yiannopoulos says on the tape in which he is talking to a radio host. Pedophilia is not a sexual attraction to somebody 13 years old who is sexually mature. Pedophilia is attraction to children who have not yet reached puberty, he adds, dismissing the fact that 13-year-olds are children. According to him, the notion of consent is, quote, arbitrary and oppressive. At one point in the video, an unknown speaker says that the behavior being defended by Mr. Yiannopoulos is akin to molestation by Catholic priests. Mr. Yiannopoulos responds in an ironic tone by crediting a priest for having helped Mr. Yiannopoulos develop his sexual technique and sexual confidence. However, the American Conservative Union, which runs CPAC, where President Trump is due to speak on Friday, again, this is from February 2017, said the apology was not enough. We urge him to immediately further address these disturbing comments, said Matt Schlapp, who runs CPAC, who himself has been sued on multiple occasions for getting drunk and aggressively fondling through their clothing the genitals of young men. Book publisher Simon & Schuster said it had canceled the publication of Mr. Yiannopoulos' book, which was coming in June. In the video footage, Mr. Yiannopoulos, a passionate supporter of Donald Trump and editor at the right-wing website Breitbart, seems to suggest the determining factor for pedophilia is whether the younger partner has gone through puberty. Mr. Yiannopoulos is regularly associated with the alt-right, a disparate nationalist group that is outspoken against so-called political correctness and feminism. It includes neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and anti-Semites. He revels in courting controversy and has written articles titled "Birth Control Makes Women Unattractive and Crazy" and "Would You Rather Your Child Had Feminism or Cancer?" Earlier this month at the University of California at Berkeley, they canceled Mr. Yiannopoulos' speaking engagement after violent protests broke out. President Trump, whom Mr. Yiannopoulos refers to as Daddy, threatened to cut the university's funding in response. He was also banned from Twitter in 2016 after leading a campaign of racist abuse against Black Ghostbusters and former SNL star Leslie Jones. Is there anything more on brand about MAGA in September of 2025 other than the fact that they are incredibly excited that another pedophile is joining their ranks? Another pedophile who is perfectly fine with adults having sex with 13-year-old children. Is there anything more on brand for MAGA than that? I would submit to you that the answer to that question is no.